last session?
You know I always need a recap.
Yes.
Uh,
We were in Kathir, broke into prison, killed a bunch of people, and found what's her face's mom, Molly.
Yes. Molly's mom, Althea. Yes. So where we're gonna pick up is I want to get this. So Eric, are you going to choose to search the captain's quarters alone, or are you going to go to continue with the rest of the party to come back to search the captain's quarters?
I was just gonna, from what I left off on, I was just going to search the captain's quarters alone.
Okay, that's where I'd like to start then.
Okay.
With that 22, right?
Yeah, you roll.
Yeah, with
Yes.
that 22.
Yes, roll
You
22
teeth.
for investigation. So as you enter, Aruk, as you enter the captain's quarters, the first thing that becomes immediately apparent is that it is mostly pretty sparse in here. It's not quarters in the sense of somewhere where, like, somebody would sleep. It's basically essentially like an office. Did I say captain's quarters? I meant the sergeant's office is what I meant to say. But I've been talking about being on ships way too much. So in the sergeant's office, you walk in, you see there's a desk. There is some hooks on one wall that have several keys on them. There is also, give me just a moment. Let me flip to the first page of my notes on the back page. With a 22, you find that there are some foot lockers. There are several different foot lockers that are all stacked up, and they have numbers on them. Each one is numbered. And as you continue to search the room, you also find in the desk of this room, you find a few things of interest. You find a list of all the prisoners that are currently in the dungeon with their names and corresponding inmate numbers. You also find a letter that is addressed to a Sergeant Syndrel from a man called Galthanas. Okay? And those are the only things that you can tell because the letter is in Elvish. All of the footnotes on the lists are in Elvish. However, the names are written in Common because they're common names. But the names are written in Common, and the numbers translate from language to language. Otherwise, you cannot read the letter, but you can just read. You can see Sergeant Syndrel at the top 2, and then you can see at the bottom it says from, and it says Galthanas. So as you also, with that level of investigation, you notice that the inmate numbers correspond to the footlockers that are stacked up along one wall.
How do you spell Galthanas real quick?
Gaelthanas. Or Nas, my bad.
Okay. I was about to spell that like gal, thin ass. So.
That's waiting for gal.
Gal with a thin ass.
To Sergeant Syndral, Sindral.
Okay. All right. I want to look for. I don't know what the fuck her mom's name is.
Althea.
Althea. Do I know that?
Yes. Yeah. She's told you guys. She told you that. I want
to look in her trunk.
As you find the trunk with the corresponding number, you pull it out of the stack, and you open it to find it contains all of her personal effects.
Cool. What type of personal effects?
Like, leather armor that she had, that sort of thing. There's leather armor. There's a couple of pouches in there. Her boots are in there. That kind of shit. Basically, just most of her personal
bags.
No, nothing's done up in like evidence bags or anything else like that. It mostly just seems to be like
Or, like,
her shit
letters?
just neatly put in there. It's whatever
Anything
she
of
had on her
interest?
person when she was captured.
I was just saying, is there anything of interest that would like stand out? Like this isn't normal attire.
It looks extraordinarily expensive.
Okay, cool.
Other than that, it doesn't give off any like. I mean, it's chances are it is slightly enchanted to some degree. I mean, it's a fucking sorceress's enchanted armor. You know what I mean? Like it's a sorceress's armor. There's a good chance that it's enchanted.
Got it. Okay. I will set that box to the side.
Okay. Are you gonna stay in this room, or are you gonna go to join the rest of the party?
I'm going to. So I found the letter. I'm gonna keep the letter. I'm assuming, like, is there keys to the entire prison in there?
Yeah, there seems to be. Yeah, there seems to be like just like different keys. You imagine that some open different things because they're not all the same looking key. There's a couple of different like keys that look like the key you took off of the sergeant. They could be copies of keys that unlock cell doors, and then the other keys, some of them look different.
Maybe I'm asking this the wrong way. Are they all like organized?
Yeah, they're hung up like on in a row on hooks on the wall.
Okay, do they have like labels?
No, they're not labeled.
Fuck. Okay. I was gonna do something like kind of chaotic and just mix them up. But
no.
I guess I will I guess I'll take one of each different type of key that I see and shove them in a pouch and then take the crate and the letter and leave the room for now.
Okay, so you drag the crate out.
And the ledger of all of the prisoners.
Okay, you take
Take
that. As
that.
well. Okay, so you drag all that stuff out and then head towards the rest of the party, I imagine.
Yep.
So as you approach, you see the rest of the party standing. Oh, another small brief thing. I would like to retcon something about the last session. I would like to retcon that Calico Jack was with the party. He will have stayed with the ship for this, just because that way, you know what I mean. He doesn't like. I don't have to worry about piloting him as well. So we're just gonna retcon that he stayed back with the ship to kind of help out and try to keep the ship protected and stuff while you guys went about your mission. So you find Perry and the captain and Venkin standing outside, and Zimbabwe standing outside of a cell. The door is standing open, and as you approach and kind of set the crate down, and walk up next to them to see this tearful reunion between Althea and Molly. Is there anything you'd like to say to the party as you approach this kind of somber little as you rejoin the party, or if there's anything anybody would like to say in this moment as you guys are kind of just standing there?
Finger guns to Eric.
Finger guns right back.
So, if I'm not mistaken, Althea is kind of like manacled up to the ceiling. Okay.
It's like a cube, right?
Yeah, there's one of her right hand is held above her head. Her hand is encapsulated in a cube. Then the cube is then chained to the ceiling.
I want to detect magic on the cube.
Yeah, so you cast Detect Magic, and immediately it becomes apparent to you that this box is basically a box of anti-magic. Within this box is an anti-magic field.
Okay.
That is basically subduing her connection to her magic.
All right. Yeah, I want to take a look at the box if I can reach it and see if there's some way to either disable it or get her hand out.
So go ahead and roll for disabling. Roll Arcana and then investigation for basically at least getting her out of it.
Okay, that's a 5 investigation and a 17 Arcana.
So as you check out from a magical standpoint, it doesn't become immediately apparent how you can get her hand out of this thing. out of the box itself. And as you study the box, you see that there is a keyhole on the box itself, as well as there seems to be elven sigils carved all over it. You, with a 17 Arcana and your level of knowledge, you would know that it's highly likely that if you were to try to pry this box off with force, it would have some kind of failsafe to it. You suspect that it could even blast off an anti-magic burst or something of that nature.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna look
metagame.
around to the party and be like, anybody got a key?
Oh, real quick, just metagaming. What do you mean exactly by an anti-magic?
So basically, in D&D, there's such a thing as like an anti-magic field, and anything that steps within that anti-magic field, basically, it cancels out and neutralizes all magic. And essentially, there's basically like they've in this box they've used magic to encapsulate an anti-magic field within this box, and basically it depends on interpretation of rules as to whether or not it's an anti-magic field that destroys all magic things. Like if you bring a magical item into it, it's no longer magical, even if you take it out of the magical anti-magic field. And then some say it just cancels it while it's in the magical field, and then does not, and then is unaffected outside of it. It just neutralizes it while it's in the field. So you guys don't know which is the case with this particular anti-magic field. However, it immediately becomes apparent that it is anti-magic. So, and it's encapsulated within this fucking box.
I want to make sure it wasn't gonna like neuter all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a risk.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, I started blasting.
I think if we actually try to disable it, we're running the risk of.
Right. So what can I read the box and actually interpret what it says?
Yeah, so you can read the Elvish that is on it, and basically it's just like it's immediately becomes apparent. They're just basically words of a binding spell that are written on it.
How did Molly and I open the cell again? We had a key, right?
Yeah, you had a key to the cell door.
I'd like to try that key in the box.
It's much too big to fit into this keyhole.
Okay.
Think of it it's a key for this door. You know what I mean? And this is more like a key.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like,
a key.
Yeah, like there's a key and there's a key. Yeah. So.
Are there any other keys on that key ring that would potentially fit that size?
I mean, if Aruk informed the party that there's all these keys and produces the ones that he took, you could try this.
I'm gonna do what I was gonna do then and ask the party if they have any keys.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm gonna I can't because I don't have a trench coat, but take a look at my wares because Jeet has many wares. But anyways, I take out all if I can. Yeah. I just threw them in little holes in my cloak of billow. And it's billowing behind me. Anyways, so I'll take out the keys and be like, bro, you can try one of these.
Okay.
Yeah, so he hands you
Can I
3 different
roll
keys.
insight? Can I roll insight and try and get it on the first try? First key, first try?
I mean, you could certainly try to see if you would be able to determine which key looks like it might fit this lock.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right.
Yeah, roll, sure.
It's a natural 20. I'm not even fucking with you.
There is one key that looks like it might fit perfectly.
Bet. I toss it to Perry.
Alright, I'm gonna catch it and stick it in the lock.
Okay, so as you stick it in the lock, I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Son of a bitch.
Gross.
That's a 21.
21? Okay, that succeeds. So you will only take half damage as you are immediately electrocuted.
Fuck.
Resistant to lightning damage.
Resistant to lightning, so you take half of half, even better.
Good job, Poppy.
Oh, you got really lucky. That is only 6 points of lightning damage. I low rolled the fuck out of that. So basically, it's not a lot more than just like a son of a bit shock for you, because of your resistance. And you're like, well, fuck.
I'm like,
So he didn't
well,
unlock it then.
we're gonna have to hack her hand off.
Yeah.
So that
When
key
you
didn't work.
do you say this out loud?
Yeah, I say that
Yeah.
and I start reaching for one of my daggers.
She gives you this fucking stare, like there's a subtle like, I appreciate you trying to help, but if you try to cut my fucking hand off, I'm gonna look to you like straight at you.
So the key
Fucking
didn't
with
work.
you.
I asked her what she knows about it. I mean, you're the one attached to it. What can you tell us about this box?
She says,
Got a name
she's
yet?
like, I doubt they would leave the key down here. I don't know who has it, but if I had to guess, it's probably maybe my bastard father. Not sure. But she looks up at the ceiling and she goes, just cut the chain.
I was gonna, yeah.
She
Hold on.
just cut the chain.
Bro.
Does mending work on body parts?
Wait, no, but
I don't think so. Let me
think
look.
I
Let me look
have
up the rules of the spell, and just to be certain here.
So it says the spell repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch, such as broken chain link, two halves of a broken key, a torn cloak, or a leaking wineskin, as long as the break or tear is no longer than 1 foot in any dimension you mend it, leaving
Yeah,
no
I mean,
trace of the former damage.
right. Only if you consider women objects, I would say.
Dude, no.
Otherwise, no. You know what I
I
mean?
am a pirate.
Yeah.
I just walk away.
Well, we just got flagged for community guidelines.
Yeah, no shit, yeah. Well, there goes our fucking ad revenue.
Yep.
No, mending will not work on flesh.
Okay.
In that case, what happens if I try dispel magic at a 4th level on the box?
You could certainly try.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and try it. I realize it's
Well,
probably.
before you do that, no, well, no, she's in prison. Never mind. I was gonna.
Okay.
Never mind.
All right, yeah, we'll go and try it, Nick, and then we'll
Okay,
go
give
for
me
the
1
chain if
second.
that doesn't work.
Give me 1 second here. I want to pull up the wording of dispel magic. I want to see exactly how it works. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you cast dispel magic on the box, and doesn't do anything. You said at 4th level, correct?
All right, yes. So there's also a portion of it that lets me roll against its DC. So
Spells
it's
level?
10 plus the spell's level.
It's DC.
So
Okay. All right. So yeah, you can go ahead and roll against that. You can go ahead and roll against that. The DC.
is it
So
a
you
flat
have to
roll?
be, so it's 10 plus the spell's level. So the DC, so you would roll using your spellcasting ability. So you just basically make like you just make a attack, essentially a spell attack roll essentially.
Okay.
So and then
22.
a 22. So as come on. So as Venkin begins to try to work some magic on this, you meet some resistance. And you kind of have to feel your like you feel the magic fighting against you. But just when you think shit, this might not work, you feel it starting to give, and you're able to dispel the magical effect on this box.
Dope. All right, now you
Cool.
got to break out of it, and I just walk off.
So now that
So-
the magic's gone, can we try to maybe pick the lock?
Or does that key work now?
Well, Gonna say she could probably bust out of it herself now that the magic's gone, or the anti-magic field's gone.
So yeah, so as you cast it, eventually fighting through this magical barrier, you can kind of see, like, she definitely looks weak. She's been hanging for quite a while, and she kind of like, you kind of see the magic begin to dissipate, and the light kind of, as you guys put the key in, the light, the sigils on this box begin to glow a little bit as the magical effects were activated, and they continued to glow, and actually glowed quite brightly as you were trying to force the magic away with your dispel magic. Um, and as the magic begins to fade away, um, you see her look up at it and give a little bit of a smile, and then her eyes begin to glow a bright color, and fucking you just see the metal of the box start to fucking slag and become molten, and she just rips her hand right out of it, and when she does, you see this massive green gem that is set into the palm of her hand.
I'll
And
look at her and be like, "Bro, can you teach me?"
and she you can see this gem is glowing, and Perry, make a perception check.
It's a natural 20.
Y'all need to
Bruh.
stop.
As soon as you see this gem and you see the magical energy coming off of it, you immediately recognize it as wild magic.
Okay.
We might die this episode, Perry. We've wasted our nat 20s on bullshit.
I know.
You have, yeah, it immediately becomes apparent that the magical power that she's imbued with is wild magic.
Okay. Do I get a sense of like the strength of her magic?
At least twice the strength of yours, at minimum.
Damn. All right.
We can take her.
She's extremely powerful. Like, you immediately get the sense of it, and you're like, holy shit. Like, because you can, I would say that with that level, with a nat 20, so you know that the spell that she cast to slag the metal is heat metal.
Heat metal, right?
But yeah, she used heat metal, and but you've never seen heat metal that potent.
Okay.
And to slag metal that quickly. And usually it's a much more gradual process. But she was able to slag it almost instantaneously and turn it to just fucking pudding, just fucking spicy pudding. So, anyways, but yeah, so as this happens, she stands up, but you could tell as she stands up and like lower, like she can't, like her arm is very weak. She looks like, with that level of perception, she looks like, from a metagame standpoint, like she suffered a couple points of exhaustion.
Okay. Well,
Is that like a is that like a hit point thing, or is that just a status thing?
It's just like a status thing. It's like her basically, essentially, consider it like she has limited access to her spell slots. Like, she doesn't have
speed like halved or something like
her
that?
movement speed is halved. So she's basically just like, essentially, like, exhausted and malnourished. So
I'm gonna create water and offer
okay,
her some.
yeah, she drinks, and says thank you. And then she kind of looks around at you guys and says, "It's awful quiet. I don't think we have a whole lot of time. We should get the fuck out of here."
Does she seem like she
Look at her.
is like weak? When I say weak, like as far as like an HP thing goes, does she seem
Yeah, you probably imagine her HP is definitely not full.
okay? Cast Cure Wounds.
I would
Okay.
I'll do the same thing.
ask her if she would like to get dressed, and I brandish said chest.
She smiles and looks up at Molly and says, "I like this one. He's prepared." And fucking and then she thanks you guys for the healing. What was the healing on that?
8.
8?
13.
13. Cool. All right.
Probably like chump change, bro.
Hey, I'm down to level 1 spell slots now.
I'm running low too.
Yeah, so she quickly dons her armor over top of her kind of rags that she was dressed in, and she kind of gives you guys a weak smile and says, "All right, let's go." And you can tell that Molly is like basically like kind of got her with one arm over her. Molly's a good bit taller than her, but maybe 3 or 4 inches taller than her. So she's kind of like she's got her, and she's kind of got her over one shoulder and is carrying her along. With Zimbabwe kind of like frantically like wanting to help. So,
Okay. Do you guys want to go
Question.
back out
Yeah.
the way we came? Or
Yeah. Great
so,
minds
okay.
think
I
alike.
guess a second or a question for our DM is, can I do a perception check on how many people are left in this prison, or did we just meet recently?
Well, actually, hold on. Let me go ahead and throw these headphones in because I'm actually having a little bit of a hard time hearing you guys. Even though it's pretty
I would
quiet in here.
also like to ask. Should we do pirate shit and start a prison break?
I was kind of thinking that too. I feel like
Hell
might be
yeah.
able to find somebody.
I wanted to do that last
Ally.
time.
Yeah. Vinkin's like, I've been on this.
Yes.
You're already in the deep, you might as well.
Yeah, might as well.
So my only question for that is, does that ledger tell you what their crimes were?
If
I don't know, DM. Does it?
yeah, so Aruk, you produce the ledger, and it does. It has the charge that they were the crime that they were charged with on
Any
it.
pedos or child rapists get to stay?
No, so there's
Yeah.
most of the people on the list are elves. Most of them on the list are elves. They're
What are you trying to say?
deserters
Oh.
or shit like that, right? Some of them are deserters. Some of them are like, you know, just different petty shit, former soldiers, stuff like that, who are basically in trouble.
Is there any wood elves?
That's what I was gonna ask.
There are
Yeah.
no wood elves in this jail, in this
What?
particular thing. So most of the wood elves you guys would suspect, generally they get used and put into slavery opposed to just being imprisoned. So these are high elves and they're treated a little differently. But there are 2 non-elves.
You're just playing Skyrim every
No, dude, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons and shit. I've been trying to get you to play.
Dude, you said high elf, and
I know. Yes, I know. I said high elf. So
Character.
Yo.
you only have a 1 for strength, bro. You're gonna need to fucking up that.
Hey, I am not a full character. I am just a pet, basically.
So, there are 2 non-elves in this jail. There is 1 human male and 1 half-orc female.
Bro, I'm totally letting that half-orc female out.
Yeah, I figured you would.
You're in there, you animal.
The human male is called Darren.
Ooh.
Bet.
Yeah, he's got a.
Yes. He's got
you.
you.
And the half-orc female is called Shatha.
Sounds spicy.
We can use Darren as an onboard maintenance man. Oh,
Oh, perfect.
make repairs on the ship so we don't have to dock.
Why did you get that excited about an onboard maintenance?
So we don't have to pay for repairs anymore.
He was like,
I know.
my
Yeah, I
pocketbooks
heard
were
that
so
too.
much
I
better.
could have. I don't know if I could have made Matt any happier if I'd have given him another magical item.
I know.
Really.
The ship's bank.
Giving him a Darren.
Yeah. So yeah, and it seems that Darren was caught in possession of a stolen elvish ship.
Bro, those are our first 2 stops. Darren and Chathia. Is that what you said?
Shatha.
Shatha.
Yeah, Shatha is charged with the same crime. It appears that they were also. It says they were booked at the same time.
Bro.
Get to clapping.
All right.
So,
Is there any like other interesting ones to note, like
like I
any
said, the
other
rest are just
piracy
mostly.
type of crimes?
No, the rest of them are mostly just elves, deserters, things of that nature.
Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. Darren and Chotha come with us.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys make your way back through the jail, and you approach. Darren's cell is the first that you approach.
I
And
want to
you
look at him.
see
I just want to look through the gates and be like, "How many brothers do you have?"
he looks up at you and he goes, "How did you know? I have quite a few brothers."
I wink at him and unlock the cell.
We know a Darrenson when we see one.
Yeah.
He goes, "Are you guys friends of one of my brothers?"
All of your brothers.
Your brother.
He goes, I knew they'd come for me. And he's like, he just stands up and he's like,
I love
and he's
this
like,
guy.
he's like, um, he's like, can we get my shit?
Bet.
he's like, all right, cool. And he just comes along with you guys. He's like, you guys said you guys knew the magic words to say to him. He was like immediately trusted you guys. So once you guys said that you knew his brothers, and so he's like walks right out of the cell and he's like, all right, sweet guys, and he like sticks his hand out. He's like, all right, guys, I'm Darren, you know, and
We figured.
so he then you guys make your way to Shatha's cell, and Darren goes as he kind of realizes what you guys are doing before he even has a chance to ask. He's like, "Fuck yeah!" So he runs up to the cell ahead of you guys, and he goes, "Shatha, we're fucking, we're sprung. Get your shit." and she like fucking like perks up, and she's like, "Darren, what the fuck?"
I would like to post up on the opposite side of the hallway, like spinning the key.
she comes up to the bars, and she's like, "Darren, what the fuck?" And he kind of like just points. He's like, "My brother sent some friends to help me out." And she's like, "You weren't lying about all those brothers, were you?" Shit. and he was like, "I fucking told you." And then she looks over and sees you standing there swinging the fucking key. And roll insight.
Alright.
You can't keep getting away with this.
That is gonna be fuck, that's a low roll. That's an 11. I rolled a 6.
It's not too bad. It's slightly above average. So you can't tell at first, like, so you don't recognize her, but you can't tell at first how she's gonna react to you until she says, she kind of looks you up and down, top to bottom, and she goes, "Unlock that cell, big boy, and you can unlock something else." She's standing there swinging the fucking key.
I wink, walk forward, unlock the cell.
Nice. All right. So she fucking comes on out. You guys go to get the rest of their shit, I imagine. Go get the rest of their shit. They pull their crates out, open it up. They don their leather and shit like that. They look just like you guys. They they got the same tailor as y'all. You know what I mean? Like we got full on fucking like they got some pirate fucking vibes going on. And you see Darren pulls out a fucking tool pouch and he fucking slings the tool pouch over his shoulder. Perry is noticeably just cheesing fucking ear to ear.
Yep.
You're a fucking Cheshire cat. Okay.
And so yeah, you guys begin to as all this is going on though, and you guys are in the captain's quarters, you begin to hear and you can see that what you didn't notice before is occasionally along the top of the hallway throughout this entire area are gems that are now lit up and humming, flashing red.
Like gems or gems?
No, like gems as in GEM as
Oh,
in
fuck.
stones. As in stones that are now.
Well, shit, I was just
I'm sure we have
imagining
a
dudes
gym.
in the hallway with their mouths wide open. Oh.
I mean, I'm sure we
yeah.
have a gym that's spelled that way, though.
Yeah, at this point, I'm sure you guys must have a gem spelled that way. You get GYM or GYMGEM. So as you guys hear this, Althea looks around and is like, "Fuck, we got to get the fuck out of here." How the fuck did you guys get in here?
I look at fucking the half orc. I'm like, through the back door.
Roll, fuck. Just roll straight charisma check for me. Just D20 plus charisma.
It's a nat 20.
Yes, sir.
Oh shit. Yeah. She gives you a saucy ass motherfucking look, bro. And she says, "Lead the way." And you guys, I guess, start heading back the way you came. You begin to hear, as you guys start heading through these tunnels, you begin to hear boots above you. You begin to hear, like, there's some fucking shit going on above you guys. And you begin to get the sense that maybe there might be multiple levels to this motherfucker. And you guys make your way back. You guys make your way back to the hallway where you found the manhole. And pull that motherfucker up. Back down in the manhole. Close the cover on top of you.
Before we run out, I think I want to throw the set of keys to one of the prisoners so they can break themselves out. Maybe distract the guards a little bit.
Okay. So you guys are kind of jumping down in the hole, and you have this thought, oh shit. So you fucking get the key, and as you go to run over down the hall to the nearest guard to give it to the guard.
On the way out, I'm just chucking it inside. And
Okay, so yeah, you run over there and you chuck it, and as you do, and you turn back around at the other end of the hallway, on the other side of the manhole from you, is another purple-cloaked elven soldier with what looks to be at least like 10 or more fucking elven guards.
I want to lean over to Althea and ask her if she can heat metal on the grate to try and weld it shut.
Oh damn, that's
She looks back at you and she goes, "Yeah, absolutely." And so you guys are kind of have this like Wild West like standoff moment where you're like, you throw in the key and you look back and you kind of standing there. They're about maybe 30 feet from the manhole. You're maybe 15 feet from the manhole. So you've got the advantage.
all right.
What are you gonna do? You gonna try to just sprint down there and jump down the manhole?
Yeah. I'm just.
All right, go ahead. So let's do athletics with your big ass. Think then, Venkin, like Winnie the Pooh.
All right, I got a +5 to athletics, so that brings it up to 8. So with that being said, I have a real quick question. How many inspiration points can we carry? Is it only one at a time, or?
I think we discussed that I allowed you guys to have 2 at a time.
Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna burn the second one I have then. All right. That's a 22.
Okay, so I'll say that you go to take off running, and for a second you almost slip as you're like, oh shit, but you're able to keep your feet and you're able to just say fuck it, and you just dive right through the manhole. It's not a super pretty landing, but you don't hurt yourself. And you guys throw the grate, and Althea, you see the wild magic kind of start to come out of the gem in her hand, and you see all around the edge, you see it just like almost like somebody put a fucking lightsaber through it. It's just like all the way around it and just slags the metal. Right as the elf gets down there, it gets to the grate, and he's trying to shake it. Nothing. It's not coming free at all. As she shouts a curse in Elvish, and which only Venkin you can understand, and what she said basically equates to go fuck your mother, and and then heads out to and then you guys begin to unless there's something you'd like to do, you guys can go ahead and start heading your way back down this tunnel.
No, I think I really just want to billow my cloak, give that elven guard the finger guns, and take off.
everybody does it. Just fucking bounce. So yeah, you guys begin making the way through the tunnels as quickly as you can. And you hear but as you begin to make your way, you hear the guards shout, "Cut them off! Cut them off!" And they begin running. And
I need to call in a favor from Tony.
Dude, I was just
that.
thinking that.
Yeah.
Bro, Tony, how much cheese can you handle in a week?
Yeah. Hey, yo, Tony.
Hey, Tony. So yeah, you guys make your way through the grates, and as you're going, Althea is going up and just touching one spot on these grates, just melting one little spot. But as kind of she's kind of trying to hold the spell, and as you guys make your way further through, you realize quickly that she's not gonna be able to keep this up. As her strength is waning even more, to the point to where Molly squats down and actually has to pick her up piggyback style and begin to carry her.
When I
You guys, go ahead.
that happen, because that's gonna slow her down quite a bit, isn't it?
It's gonna reduce your movement speed a little bit, yeah.
Let's go ahead and wild shape into, I don't know, a mastiff. Let's see.
Okay.
Those guys with decent speed, I guess, and I'll take over.
Okay, yeah. So you wild shape, and she kind of fucking gets her mom situated, gets Althea situated, and you guys take off again with your pace greatly picked up at this point. You guys are able to actually really start moving through the tunnels a lot faster. You guys make it back to the last fork that you guys were at, and just keep on keeping on. And then as you guys are running down the hall heading towards the other fork, you see a couple of rats take off scurrying from one side to the other. And you guys keep it moving. And yeah, you guys make it to the point to where you're not far from your entrance. And as you guys get out to the street level, where you guys are out underneath the street, you hear all kinds of commotion going on out on the streets as well. You hear soldiers moving around, all kinds of shit going on. So you guys are just gonna keep on keeping on, just keep trucking past it.
I feel like at this point we need. Well, do you have any more slots for Pass Without Trace? No. Fuck. Okay. I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
We might need to send up a gym signal.
Just a bat signal in the sky that says Jim. Yeah.
So hold on. Let's see.
I don't know. What do you think Tony can do?
So
in this
question.
situation?
Question. Does it look like this water flows to any body of water? The sewer flows anywhere other than the place we came out?
Yeah, absolutely. It keeps going. And actually, Yeah, you guys could, in theory, yeah, keep trying to follow the tunnels and maybe see if it leads out and spills out somewhere.
How many of
Because
us
I feel
are there?
like
Yeah.
So there's the 4 of you plus Molly, Zimbabwe, Althea, and
Darren?
now Darren and Sasha,
Oh.
Shasta or Shatha.
So there's
Shasta.
9 of us.
Yeah.
Okay. If we're
How
gonna
deep is this?
if we're gonna do that, I can cast water breathing on all of us.
How deep
Okay.
is the water?
So where you guys are at currently, it's really not that deep. It's maybe
Yeah,
a couple of
right.
feet, like a foot and a half deep, 2 feet deep.
I think that's probably our best bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, where are the guards coming from in respect to us? I guess.
They're above us, I thought.
They're above you. They're above you on the streets. You guys have made it out from underneath the tower and are now out underneath into the sewer system that is underneath the streets. And as you guys pass this manhole, you hear a lot of activity going on. You hear guards telling people to get inside buildings, and you hear just like guard formations and stuff. They are it seems that the entire city is now aware that this has happened. And
So, okay. With that, I want to ask Tony if he could get as many of his rats as possible into the market and cause the biggest commotion possible.
So
And I
as you
guess
guys are
we
going, and
will run into it.
you catch those rats that are running across, and you speak with animals, and immediately you hear this voice come at you. Ah, you again! and,
Oh boy.
and he says, what can I do for you?
I need a favor.
You come
A
to
And
me
favor?
on the
I
day of my daughter's wedding?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's in it for me? You know, I mean,
So I pull out I don't know, the biggest single piece of food I have in my pouch. And I lay it down. I said, "We need a distraction in the market. How many of you guys can you get over there?"
a distraction. Well, I'll say this:
Kind of
it's gonna take a lot more than this to feed all my friends.
I just dumped the bag. All right,
Take what
whatever.
you take what
Make it
no,
happen.
just tell him just like to take what he can from the market. We got the guards distracted.
Mm.
Yeah. No,
Tell him
it's-
he can
yeah,
live on the ship with us.
Roll persuasion.
No. No.
I wouldn't mind living with Tony.
That's probably like a 7.
A 7.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. A lot of good rats could get killed. Yeah, you're gonna have to sweeten the deal a little bit more there, my guy.
All right. So did he hear me or Eric's idea? Like the whole bag of
He heard
food or the market being full of food?
Well, he doesn't understand common, so it would have been
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't
it
know
would've
if
been
we
what
just
you-
kind of skipped that in between. Okay, so I guess I will pass on Eric's idea. Look, all these guards are chasing us, so you guys are gonna have a lot of time in that market, and if you guys bum rush them, they'll probably all run away, and from there you guys can just have as much as you can carry.
A revolutionary.
Yeah,
He's
help
like,
me, help you.
You know what? You're not bad, man. You're not bad. You get yourself a deal, but I'm gonna need all that food.
All right.
So yeah, you just dump out the bag.
Yep.
Him and the couple people he's got with him start feeding up, and he's like, "All right, boys, it's time for a revolution." And he takes off into a hole, and you just hear like chirping and chittering away. The rest of you guys are like, you guys just hear fucking. You're like, what the fuck? You just see
Mass chittering in a crescendo.
yeah, match chittering, and then you just hear you just see a mastiff with an elven woman on its back, speaking rat language, like chittering. Like you're like, the fuck
Bro.
is going on? And so yeah, you guys you guys begin to make your way. And Zimbabwe says he kind of looks around and he's looking up at the grate and stuff, and he's like, I think if we go that way, we might be able to. It might spit out at the sea, or at least maybe the mouth of the river.
So I will say, Vinkin's feather points to the ship.
Oh,
No,
bet.
mine.
Mine does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
Zezel's.
not Vinkin, Zezel.
You
That's what I meant.
bet.
That's what I meant.
Bet.
I forgot
Just
about that
follow the
too.
feather.
Thanks, Matt.
Welcome. So we're gonna know which way to go.
That's right. So Captain Zezel pulls his feather out and lays it in the palm of his hand, and it points directly down to go down this opposite fork that you guys didn't go down before, and is like, that way is directly to the ship.
Sweet.
So you
Scooby-Doo it
guys,
out of there.
yeah, you guys fucking hold up. Pause for a second. So you guys you guys begin to haul ass down these tunnels. You pass many more grates, and one of the grates is is beneath the market. And as you guys pass underneath the market, it is absolute fucking pandemonium above you. You hear people screaming, shit falling over, and then you just see there's just rats everywhere, all over the place. And then for a minute as you guys pass, you see Tony, and he's got a block of cheese, and he's holding it above his head triumphantly. As you guys make your way past, after some time, and actually having switched tunnels a few times, the feather leads you guys to this big, massive grate that's maybe 12 feet in diameter, and you see the water is getting deeper as it kind of goes downhill, and it goes out into what looks like the bay. You can even see through the grate, you can see ships off in the distance in the water. So,
Okay.
We rush.
yeah, you guys rush. So with this grate is cemented. This grate is in place. This grate is not one that you can just move.
She able to melt it?
And so Althea, kind of weakly gets up, sits up, and is fucking. She tries to melt it, and you see she kind of gets a bar to melt it a little bit, and then she just doesn't. She just has nothing left in the tank.
How many fire bolts would that take?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That might be more of a question of like how much physical damage does it do instead of heat.
Or how many long dick dolphins?
I will say she
Yeah,
did cut through. She did cut through 2 bars of it, and they're not. It's not like a grid pattern. It's long, upright, vertical bars.
Okay.
There may be like 6, 8 inches between the bars.
So if she cut through 2 of them, that's 18 inches, about.
Roughly, yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah. How many fire bolts is this gonna take to?
So there's a couple of options. You guys could try to firebolt the shit out of it, or you guys could try to bend the bars. Because she basically severed them at the top. You could try to bend these bars if you wanted to.
Is it
Try
above
bending
us?
them first.
You said it's above us, right?
Yeah, it's like
I'll try and
basically
do
like
some
you cut
pull-ups.
them at the top. Yeah, so basically so I imagine if Farouk and Venkin, if you drink and you transform back into your normal form,
Yeah.
if the two of you cooperated on it, there is a possibility that you guys working together could try to bend it. But I need both of you guys to roll strength at the same time. But since you're working with each other, I'll give you guys advantage.
Bet. You ready?
15.
That's 18.
18.
Yeah,
So
now with advantage. Let me try that again. That is going to be 21.
Yeah, so it's a struggle, and you guys are prying with all of your might, and but eventually you guys are able to kind of get these bars bent down to where it's not going to be pretty trying to squeeze through it, but it's possible for all. Well, Venkin, you can always wild shape into a smaller form to be able to get through it. I would say you're the only one who would have a hard time fitting through this.
What about
space.
me? I'm like the second
Rook, you're
biggest.
not. Yeah, but you're not nearly quite as big. I think what you're
Well,
like.
no.
You're over 6 feet tall, but you're not like Venkin's like
No.
well over 7 feet tall.
Yeah. I just didn't know like how you know.
Yeah, you're gonna have to think thin and go sideways, but not
Yeah.
even Venkin couldn't get through even sideways with his chest, so he's gonna have to maybe wild shape down. But the rest of you guys should be able to squeeze through. But it's gonna slow you guys down a little bit, but they don't know where you are. At least you don't think so for now. So you guys force your way through these bars, squeezing through. You guys kind of have to pass people through a little bit. And Venkin, you're able to, if you could wild shape or whatever, try to get your way through.
Yeah.
You guys get onto the other side, and as you guys look around, you can tell that you are basically coming out just off of the docks. The docks are off to your right, and you can see maybe 600-700 yards off in the distance to your right. You can see the Gym and Juice. But you also see that there's a lot of fucking activity, and you can see that there's a lot of guard business and stuff going on, and you can actually see the Jim and Juice, the Jimi Hendrix, I believe, was parked out in the bay, correct?
Yep.
Was anchored out in the bay. So you see that, you see the Jimi Hendrix anchored out in the bay, but you see that the Jimmy Changa is moving. And it seems like almost like they're fleeing. You see there's other ships, and a lot of guards and shit on the docks, and you see that the Jimmy Chunga is making a run for it, but they're not heading out to sea. They seem like they're kind of almost coming your direction.
Can I wild shape into a bird, and then try and fly out and tell them to circle back?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
So yeah,
if I cast water breathing on the party, would we have enough time to swim out to the boat?
you could swim out into the water, and then he could direct when he makes there, direct the boat to come pick you guys up.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast water breathing on the party in case shit goes sideways.
Okay. So yeah, you cast water breathing, and you guys wade out into the water and submerge yourselves. Then can you transform into like a hawk or something and take off as fast as you can, flying as fast as you can. It takes you a while to get. I mean, it's several hundred yards. It takes you a few minutes to get over there as you're flapping your wings as fast as they can fucking go. And as you fly down, you see that a lot of the ships in the bay are now are all active. They're setting sail. There's some that are out in the bay that are coming into the city, that are heading back in towards the city. You land on the deck and you see first mate Jim with a G, and the rest of the Jims, and you kind of plop down and they kind of look over at you as they're kind of running about, fucking trying to sail this thing. Jim with a G is up there on the wheel, you know what I mean? Trying to get this fucking bitch out of there. And you fly up and land in front of Jim with a G, and I imagine transform back into yourself.
Right.
And yeah, he's like, oh shit. And he's like, where's everybody? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, we need to go pick them up. Yeah. Things didn't go as planned.
He goes, no shit. All right. And he starts yelling commands at the guys and stuff like that, and altering the course, and begins to make the way out. But unfortunately, as you begin to look around, you get the idea that there's a lot of ships. There's a lot of ships, and it's taking a while to pick up speed. But as these other ships are closing in, I mean, there's dozens of ships around you guys. As the ships are closing in, you guys make your way. Going back to the rest of the party, you guys are occasionally surfacing, kind of waiting, and you see now the Chimichangas coming right for you. As it gets closer, you see Vinkin leaning over the side of the rails, and you see ropes come over the side to start hauling you guys up. You guys take a hold of the ropes. You guys get everybody on deck. But as you get on deck, Perry, Baruch, Captain, you guys, it becomes immediately apparent. You guys are pretty much very close to being surrounded. There are ships everywhere. You guys are going to have to try to make a beeline out of here somehow. Are you guys going to set course straight towards the Jimi Hendrix?
Yes, for reinforcements.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump up into the crow's nest as quick as I can and cast gust of wind on the sails and try and give us a bit of a speed boost.
As you jump up in the crow's nest, you cast your gust of wind, and you guys begin to pick up speed. You guys make it out to where the Jimi Hendrix is harbored, but there are still these ships that were further out in the harbor that are coming in your direction. And as this happens, you begin to hear volleys of fire coming in, and you see cannonballs splashing around the ship, around both ships. And if you guys want to, we can go ahead and hop into roll 20, or into roll 20, whatever the fuck it's called.
Garbage.
The one time I'm not very happy about hopping into one roll 20.
Like, can we like squeeze in a long rest? No.
You know.
Yeah,
Power nap, please.
Yo, so Nick, when the fuck can I use my fucking warlock spells?
When you level up, sir. Right? Or did you do it
Bro,
this last level?
no, I did it last time.
Okay,
you
did it
just
last
said that, like,
level?
you wanted
Okay.
to do it like
My bad.
some cinematic way. I was
Yeah.
like,
Well, motherfucker, give me a goddamn chance. Goddamn. Okay? Son of
I've
a
got an
bitch.
idea.
How many
I've got an
cinematic...
idea.
Okay.
the idea is gonna
As
be
we're
I cast
fleeing, I
Eldritch Blast.
finger gun. No, I finger guns and Eldritch blasts start coming out of my finger gun.
Hell yeah.
I'll keep that in mind. Is everybody in roll 20?
I am
Let's
no.
see.
Putting up.
All right.
It may take me 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, make sure you zoom out when you hop in. It's spicy.
So,
It's spicy.
yeah, so I got the scaling is right though. I switched over to the hex grid and the scaling is correct.
Ooh, cool.
Cool.
I kind of like that actually. It is nice when it pops in.
Actually, Perry, will you stream this? Eric, that way you don't have... Oh, are you in?
Trying.
I can stream it.
Okay. I'll
Says
say if you
roll
would stream
20
it just
loading.
in case. Just in
I'm
case.
in.
Oh, you're in? Okay, cool. All right, so everybody's in, and you can see there are 3 ships that are closing in front of you and 4 ships that are gaining on you from behind. You guys are... It's looking like you guys are going to have to fight, at least somewhat, before you can make an escape. Let's see here. Yeah, I got everybody on the deck. Hold on, let me zoom in real quick. I forgot to give you guys control of your tokens. Give me just one moment here. You know what? Fuck it. Okay. Perry, I already have you in the crow's nest because I assumed you would immediately go to the crow's nest. Okay. Where are you at? There you go. Okay, and then last one. Okay, you guys should have control of your tokens now. Eric, you're up towards the front of the ship.
Okay.
Venkin, you're towards the rear, and then Captain, you're back at the wheel. So as they close in, they begin raining fire on you guys. I imagine you guys are going to order the gems to return fire
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
with cannons and ballistas. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some initiative real quick. Oops, wrong button. Uh-oh. Get the fuck out of here. Hobgoblin. Okay. All right. So, Aruk, what was that from you, sir? Initiative. Shit. Did I lose everybody?
No, I'm here.
No.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I got a 15.
6.
15 and a 6. Okay. So 6, 15. What about
25.
Zezel? 25 for Zezel. And then Aruk?
That is a 19.
19. Okay.
How long is this gonna last?
Just a little while longer, buddy. Sorry, you get to be bored, bud. You're in grounded zone.
I know.
All right, so I'm gonna use Calico Jack to be the turn for the ship and the rest of the party. The rest of like the gems and all of that, just for simplicity's sake.
He takes his prison sentence so well.
Oh, he's grumbling a little bit, but
Eh.
So
so you hear him? You hear the
each
grumble?
Yeah, I
hexagon
hear
how
him.
far?
Do what?
Each hexagon, what's the size? Is that 5 feet?
5 foot. Yep. Okay. Let's see here, and then my enemies. I'll just use this.
Enemies of mine, enemies.
Yells. I use you. Hold on 1 second, buddy. Okay.
It was hard to ground me as a kid. I used to read a bunch.
What?
I was showing.
Fucking.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it was hard to ground me as a kid. I used to read a bunch.
That's pretty
Like,
cool, dude.
ha, fuck you, I'll just escape into a book.
Cool, you haven't cried.
All right. Okay. All right, guys. So let me get this finished out here real quick. First in the turn order is Captain Zezel. What is your first move, sir? So you order. I imagine your first is to order the guys to fire. Because you're controlling the ship. So actually, and you can't really do any. It's like you can sneak attack anybody right now. So I'll have you, Zezel, make the rolls for the ship's guns.
Okay.
Since you're controlling it, and I'll actually just get rid of their initiative order. That'll just make it easier. We'll just do everything on Zezel's turn. Okay. So you guys have the one cannon, or do you guys get 2 cannons?
Wait, hang on.
We only have one
So I think in
cannon.
the last book, or in the last ship, we had one. It's been a while since we even talked about it, but the last thing I had written down was 1 cannon, 4 ballistas, and 2 trebuchets. But that was before we captured these
Yeah, those other
last
ships.
2 ships. So,
Yeah, I don't think you. I think you guys definitely, because you outfitted the other ship with ballistas and stuff. But I don't know that you guys got any more cannons, because I don't think you guys went anywhere to actually buy another cannon.
No, we've only got one.
Well,
Yeah.
my question is how much of that stuff was on the Elven ship, and or did we scrap any from the Goblin?
Yeah, so the Goblin ship and the Elven ship only had ballistas, and yeah, you
Yeah.
scavenged.
Hendrix.
The Jimi Hendrix has 8 ballistas. I think you guys have more ballistas too. I think you guys have up to 8 now too.
All right. Yeah. Can we go ahead and
So what do I need to roll?
So
So I need you to just roll 8 ranged attacks. I think it's +6 to hit. So you'll need to make just 8 ranged attacks, and then we'll do. Actually, I'll bring him back. That'll be the Jimi Hendrix's turn order. He was
okay. So just so I have it written down correctly, we have 1 cannon, 8 ballistas, and 2 trebuchets.
Yep.
Okay. And then were you talking to me or Zezel to roll?
Zezel. Zezel is going to be my. Gonna...
So 5 d20s.
Hang on, we.
Yep, 5. Yeah. So you can roll. You can roll the cannon attack, and then you can roll all 8 ballistas if you want to fire all 8 ballistas. You guys have enough gyms now to man all of these ballistas and stuff. So even Zimbabwe hops on a ballista.
All right, so I'm just gonna read them out as I roll them.
Okay.
All right, so the first one's 14.
Okay, that's a hit.
18.
Hit.
13.
Hit.
8.
Miss.
22.
That's definitely a hit.
18.
Hit.
16.
Hit.
How many is that? I lost count.
That's 7.
I think that. Yeah,
10.
that's a miss. So and then so that's 6 hits, and then the cannon. Fire the cannon as well. So roll for the cannon as well.
Boy, nat 20.
Nice. So so you guys fire the ballistas, and you score a couple of hits. And you do some damage to this ship up here to the top left with some ballistas. As well as killing a few of the guards on a few of the soldiers on deck of the ship. This one over here to you guys' right, over here, is a direct hit on the mast with the cannon, and it actually brings the mast down. It's a direct hit, and it just pulverizes the fuck out of this second largest mast, and it cripples this ship. This ship immediately, as you can see, begins to slow as the mast crumbles and falls down. Okay, so that's going to be Aruk. Your turn, sir. Is there anything? I know that there's no enemies for necessarily for you to attack unless you pull out your bow.
Yeah. That's about all I can do. If I really wanted to, is I could throw.
You could try to
some
rain some
arrows.
arrows. Yeah, you could try to rain some
Yeah.
arrows. Yeah, you could volley
I'm
some
sure there's
arrows.
some
Man.
torches. I'm sure there's some torches. Like on the
Yeah.
ship.
Yeah,
I guess
you
I can
could
make some
definitely.
flame arrows real quick. Make a couple, and then do you want me to roll a d4? See how many I can make with one of my
Yes.
actions.
Yes.
I make 3,
Okay.
and then I'm going to fire at one of the ships in front of us. Try to aim
Okay.
for its sails.
Okay.
So that is going to be a fucking 16 to hit.
16 total.
Yeah, 16 to hit. Yeah.
It, so it doesn't hit the sail, but it sails up and it strikes one of the guards.
Cool.
It strikes one of the guards.
Okay.
It extinguishes. However, when it sinks into him, it extinguishes the flame.
All right. Well, still, he takes 10 damage.
Gotcha. Okay. Alrighty. So then we'll bring it around to the enemy's turn. They are going to fire several volleys at you guys. So there's a lot of ships that are going to be shooting at y'all. So give me a few. Who has the ship's armor class? Has updated.
I do not, but I think Perry, didn't you usually have that on hand?
Yeah.
But I don't. Have we looked at it since we got the Elven ship or not? I can't remember.
No, we haven't. Armor class on the old one was 18.
18. So we'll say this ship is a little bit better. Let's say
I lied. 15.
15. Okay. We'll say it's better. Let's call it 18 then.
18.
Yeah, let's call it 18. So this is a significantly better ship than the one you guys had before. All right. So you know what? I'm just gonna do this on roll 20. This is gonna be way easier. So let's see. 1, 2.
What's the exact name and class of the ship, Nick? And I'll look all that stuff up and
I'll have to look on my notes
Isn't
here
it
in a
homebrew?
second.
Oh,
It is a homebrew ship, yeah. So I have to kind of compare it to a ship that is equivalent.
Okay.
So I have it in my shit. I'll send it to you guys.
Alright.
Just give me a few minutes here. So Jesus, okay. I have to roll 28 d20s.
28 d20s.
Yep.
No.
I'm in danger.
Illegal.
Foul in the play.
Yeah. Yellow flag. Yellow card in your ass.
So there's a lot of misses. But let's see. We have 1, 2, 3 hits, and a fourth that's a critical hit, a 20, a natural 20. So
And I wish the ship had my class feat.
so the I'll say that 2 of those hits are on the Jimi Hendrix. As you see ballistas raining in, one slams. 2 of them slam into. One slams into the deck of the Jimi Hendrix. Another skids across the top of it, killing 2 of the wood elves. Another ballista comes screaming in and sticks into the deck of the Chimichanga, and a final ballista comes in and with a natural 20, and it rips through the mainsail. And you guys begin to, you can feel the ship slow down.
Good thing we got a fucking onboard maintenance man once this fight's done.
Fuck yeah.
That is going to be their turn, so that will then bring it to Venkin. Is there anything that you would like to try to do, sir?
Yeah, sure. How far out exactly are we? And I don't know, I guess we'll just do it all out call for whatever's there to help us. But speech of beast and leaf is like a feat I have. I can talk to whatever animals that can hear me. I have advantage on the charisma check, but I can't understand them back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a one-way thing with. Basically, I just want to point out the 3 ships in front of us and ask any wildlife that would be able to come in and assist to try and move and or damage the ships in front of us.
So do you also have an ability that allows you to basically detect, or does that cost spell slots to detect what wildlife is in the area?
I think that does. Yeah, I think that's another one. Yeah.
Okay. Does that I didn't know if that costs you a spell slot or if that's just like a racial feat or something like that, or a class feat.
No, yeah, that commune with nature is like a 5th level spell slot, and that lets me know what's around me
Okay,
within like
I gotcha.
3 miles.
So you basically send a call out to the depths, trying to convince some creatures to come and help you out. Go ahead and roll persuasion for me.
Is
You
there
want
any way that I could assist
persuasion
with
or
that?
charisma?
Sure, absolutely.
I have Emissary of the Sea, which is a feat that I have. Aquatic beasts have an extraordinary affinity with my people. I can communicate simple ideas with beasts that can breathe water.
Okay. Yeah, so absolutely. So go ahead and take advantage on that.
Okay. Well, I got an 11 twice, and then plus my persuasion, it's a 1, so that's a 12.
So with a 12, you kind of send a call out, and you don't
Right.
really get a. I mean, it doesn't seem like you don't really see anything happening. You don't really get a sense of anything is happening.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I'm gonna. Yep, I think it's about it.
Okay, I didn't know if you could try to lob a spell over there thing.
No,
Slot.
I'm actually. Once I figured out that speak with animals is actually a spell slot, not just that feat, I had to finish off all my spell slots, so I'm at cantrips now.
Fuck.
I understand. Give me just a second here, guys. Let me pull up the ship thing so that way we have your guys' ship stats. So give me just
Okay.
one moment here, guys. Sorry about this. I should have grabbed the new ship stats, but I just totally forgot.
Yeah, we've not had to use it yet, so.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. Okay, here we go. All right. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't using D&D Beyond. Bastards.
Why is that not a good one to use?
No, it's a long story, but basically, they're a bunch of bitches.
Coast are being bitches right now.
Yeah.
Are they being bitches? What's going on?
Yeah.
They're trying to impose royalties on homebrew content.
Blockers.
Yep.
So the ship type is considered it's like as far as stat wise is considered a warship.
The Chimichanga is?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll pull up the stat block and copy it down. And
Unfortunately. Okay. Okay. So, all right. It is. If there's nothing else you can do, then that's gonna bring it around to the Chimichanga. The Chimichanga is now going to fire its ballistas. So it has 8 ballistas to fire. Who would like to roll for the Jimi Hendrix's ballistas for me?
I can.
Okay.
It's 8. You get a +6.
Yes, I believe to hit.
That's a 20.
Okay.
13. 12. And 8.
Are those naturals or with the +6?
That's after +6.
Oh, geez. Okay.
23.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
Another 23. And then a 25.
Okay, so that's 5 hits. As you guys as you see the Jimi Hendrix let loose its ballistas, you see a few miss and sink into the water, but 5 of them are able to hit, and you see a few elves on deck of a couple of the ships are killed, and 2 of the ships, the Jimi Hendrix is able to wound the sails of 2 ships down in the bottom left. And oops. So let's see here. What's the damage on that ballista? I know, I just had it 5 seconds ago.
That's going to be a 3d10 piercing damage.
3d10. Gotcha. Okay. Alrighty. So with 5 hits, so that's 15d10. I'll just use roll 20 for that real quick. It'll just be a lot easier. 15d10. We'll damn, hurry up and roll, motherfucker. Just says rolling the dice, ... There we go.
4 nat ones.
Bruh.
God damn.
What the
I
fuck?
thought I was bad.
Yeah. So for a total of 63 damage. All right. So that will bring it down to Perry's turn.
Alright, I think I'm gonna make another, or I'm gonna call for help from Sea Life as well.
Do
Okay.
we think we should use Calypso?
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess we'll
yeah.
with that.
Good idea.
That's a really good idea. Hang on, let me pull up my pearl.
Like,
'Cause
I
have
don't know, maybe like a fucking tidal wave to brush these bitches out of the fucking
That's a
sea. I
really
mean, it's our
good
one.
idea.
Like, we only have one, right?
Yeah,
But like,
Well,
this is kind of
yeah.
dire straits.
yeah. I mean, I'm basically out of spell slots. I don't have any sorcery points. Fuck it.
I mean, I can't do shit.
If you guys are cool with it, I'm gonna go ahead and spend it then.
I mean,
Caller.
All right.
yeah.
Either that or we could, I don't know, we might be able to wait a minute, but I think we're pretty close, so
I'm
not
gonna
a
go
bad
ahead
idea.
and do it. I'm going to pray to Calypso, trying to commune with her and have her help us get out of this situation.
So Perry, as you sit up in the crow's nest, you kind of go down into like a lotus position and you clutch the pearl and you begin to pray, and for a moment you're just having a hard time drowning out the sounds of all the chaos going on around you as ballistas have come in. There's people shouting and screaming. You hear the loading of ballistas going on and the loading of cannons. And for a moment, you're struggling, but then you're able to start to quiet your mind. And as you quiet your mind, a few moments pass, and then you hear the soft voice of Calypso. What is this? What is it that you need, my child?
I say, we find ourselves in a very precarious position. We need I need escape for me and my people to a location where we can't be harmed.
Right here. No, don't. Right there. I was gonna switch out or something.
Thank you.
Switch it out or something.
She says, I will grant you this. Have patience. I'm with you. And then you feel her presence fade from you. And at this moment, Aruk, your eyes glow green, and
snap.
you feel this ethereal energy start coursing through you as you feel the power of Calypso, this familiar feeling wash over you, and
In my mind, I'm like, bitch, you left me on red for how long?
Precisely, Vinkin. Precisely.
We just turned this bitch into Avatar State.
So yeah. So yeah, you immediately feel the energy coursing through you, and then the ship that you guys wounded the sail of, you immediately see the most massive whale you've ever seen, and slams into the side of the elven ship. Wood exploding from the side of the ship rocking over to one side and actually so far that it scoops up water and then lists back, and the whale just back into the ocean as the ship is sucked down to the end with the vortex that the whale created, as the ship is now laying on its side and sinking. And you see a dark cloud begin to swirl above all of you. And it's like not directly above you though. It's off to, if you're looking at the map, it's off to the what would be the west if you're pointing north. What would be off to your west of the map. And you see it begin to, like, this vortex in the sky of these dark clouds begin to spiral, and a lightning bolt comes crashing down out into the open water. And as this lightning bolt crashes down, you realize that this lightning isn't blue. It's not normal lightning colored. It's like a deep purplish color with almost streaks of red through it as the lightning vanishes. God damn it. Roll 20 in their fucking goddamn reveal tool. You motherfucker. God, son of a bitch! You're ruining my thematic moment. Roll 20, you motherfuckers. As
Oh,
a ship emerges from the smoke and the swirling clouds. The ship is familiar to all of you. You've seen it once before.
Sure, I know what it is.
You've seen it once before. I need everyone to make a perception check.
Can I use the periscope?
Absolutely.
We know it's the Pirate King.
Yes.
16?
That's gonna be a 26.
17. Yeah, 17.
Okay, as you guys all look and you see this crackle of lightning, and now in the water just off to the west of you is the ship of the Pirate King. Perry, as you whirl the periscope around, you see standing on the deck of the ship 2 figures, the Pirate King and Captain Red. As all of a sudden cannons unleash. You see cannon fire coming, like these ports on the side of the ship open up, and probably better than a dozen cannons begin firing at all of these other ships. Absolutely just deafeningly loud, just massacring. And then you see, Perry, as you're looking through the periscope, you see the Pirate King run to the front of the ship and begin. He sticks his hands out like this, and you see fucking lightning just begin raining down on all these ships, just from this fucking storm cloud. You fucking everywhere. All these ships are getting hit. Moment, you look around, and like everything for all of you almost goes quiet, and this deafening roar of just absolute chaos and carnage around you. There's cannonballs that are flying over the ship and volleying and landing on the ship of the other side of you. Absolute pandemonium and chaos. And through it all, almost everything goes silent. And you're just looking around and almost this, like, in the middle of this battlefield at sea. And you see Althea struggle herself to her feet. And you see the light of Calypso come in, like, flow into her, and she sticks her hands up, and a massive vortex begins to swirl in front of all of you as Aw, really?
POV trying to find a vortex.
Really? A 5 foot square, motherfucker? Roll 20 fucking me up again. Yeah, no shit. Yeah. As a massive portal opens in front of you, in front of the ship, big enough to encompass both ships.
Three
and
ships?
you hear
Oh.
no, just the
Oh,
two of
got it.
yours, and you hear a shout coming from the deck of the Pirate King's ship, coming from the voice of an old friend that you guys haven't seen in a long time, that says, "What are you waiting for? Run, you cunts!" as more volleys of cannon fire rains over all of these ships. Although what you can see, Perry, as you've been looking around, is there off in the distance there are more ships that are coming in.
So, before we go into the portal, I do want to yell to the gyms below to fly the colors.
So so as this is all happening, you shout from down to the crow's nest, "Hoist the colors!" And I imagine the captain does the same. Everybody starts shouting, "Hoist the colors!" And a few of the gyms hop off of their ballistas and they fucking, and before you know it, the flag of Captain Red is flying on the main mast, and full steam ahead into this portal as both ships are engulfed. And as you see, as the portal gets closer, you see this it looks like and like pure essence of wild magic with all these colors flowing through. And as the front of the ship touches the portal, you see it begins to warp in space-time, and then both ships are sucked in as you guys are almost wrung out and drawn thin. As you all come to, the sun is going down. You find yourselves washed up on a beach. Some of you are on the beach, some of you are still aboard the ship, but the ship is basically laying up on, both ships are laying up on an island right on the edge, right on the coast. Damaged, the mainsail is damaged, the hull of the ship has been damaged from all of the ballista fire. Both ships are definitely in need of some repairs, some serious repairs. You see that there are some half-elves scattered across the beach, but everyone seems to be alive. But you don't know where you are, and there are no other ships in sight out in the sea. It's quiet. All you can hear is birds, as seagulls cawing above you as they kind of fly around. Though I will say the sea doesn't look. It looks to be it. The sea looks the same, if that makes sense, in the sense of it doesn't look like you're in a completely different ocean or another entirely part of the world. It still looks like you're somewhere within the Great Sea, but you don't know exactly where. And as you look around, you see that as the beach gets further inland, it slowly turns to this massive wooded area, this large forest. And go ahead and Perry, I imagine you are still in the crow's nest. You're waking up, you look around and seeing all of this. Go ahead and roll perception.
I was gonna ask, since I have a complete map, am I gonna be able to discern where we are?
Maybe.
Okay.
You might need some landmarks, but
Okay. That's 17 plus 6, 23.
as you're trying to scan the horizon in all directions, trying to parcel out where the fuck you guys are, the only thing besides forest on one side and sea on the other that you notice is a large structure jutting up out of the trees. It gives, so from a metagame standpoint, visually speaking, it looks something like a step pyramid that you would find in Central America. It looks to be absolutely ancient, and that's the only thing of note that you see.
Do a history check, maybe?
Yeah. Roll something to see if I.
Absolutely. If you'd like to roll a history check, you're absolutely welcome to do that.
Not great. That's a 12.
A 12, yeah.
I'll
You've
try and- I'll
never.
try and help.
Okay.
What is history intelligence?
Yeah,
I
intelligence.
believe so, yes.
That's a 17.
So, with a 17, you've heard of places like this, Venkin, from your time spent with Wood Elves in your past. Not this particular kind of wood elf, but from another side of the other side of the continent in the north. However, you have heard of similar things, and you suspicion this could be it could be a monastery. It could be any number of things, but it looks like things that you have heard described and talked about among wood elves.
I'll go ahead and share that with the rest of the party. Maybe suggest a couple of us go check it out, and
I will
maybe
stay with the
leave.
ship. I gotta poop
Um,
real quick. So
As
be fine.
I'll say, yeah, you're good. I'll say that you guys have to spend some time doing like a head count. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like making sure everybody's good, making sure everybody's all whole, which they are. However, Althea is unconscious.
Okay.
Let's go ahead.
The dying.
Yeah, I was about to
Um,
say.
with a cursor, she's not dead. However, you feel like that last burst of magic that she used in order to open that portal was all she had, and that she went to the point of exhaustion that she passed from consciousness, and is now in an unconscious but stable state.
Guess we can ask Molly if she wants to stay with her mom and make sure that she's taken care of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, you guys begin to start kind of getting things set up. Molly, with the help of some of the gyms, takes Althea below decks to the quarters that she's been staying in that actually belong to Perry, and laid her in there and have gotten some food and some water and some things of that nature and laid her in there, and it just seems that at least for now what she needs is rest. Everybody else seems to be holding the elves. Um, Everybody else seems to be whole as they're kind of going over and checking the damage of the ships, kind of getting an idea. You see Darren walking around with his tool belt going, yeah, looking around at all the damage and stuff like that. And
I think Perry might be in love with Darren. Jesus Christ.
yeah,
He caught feelings.
yeah, hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as Perry looks fondly down at Darren from the Crow's Nest, Darren goes to some of the gyms and is like, "All right, we gotta get some of this fixed. Hey, come here, guys, give me a hand." And he starts going about fixing the ship as best he can. You can see him. He starts to clear away debris and stuff like that, trying to put aside pieces that he can salvage to put back in place and things of that nature. And then he says, he kind of looks up at the big tear in the sail, and he goes, and you see him kind of reach into a pouch and stuff like that, and he starts pulling some things out, and then he puts them back in, and he goes and starts climbing up the rigging and stuff, and ties himself off with a rope, and you see he's up there, and he's fucking pulled out this big fucking, like, basically like this long thin rope and this large needle, and he's fucking trying to stitch the sail back together, hanging from the cross member with a rope. So yeah, that's basically. If anybody needs to pee or get a drink, that now be a good time while Eric's pooping and kind of things are going. Yeah. You got 30 minutes. And then this is over. Okay. Okay, grumpy ass. Sorry, dude, but them's the breaks.
We all take a poop break because I did.
Yeah, everybody decided to go get a drink and stuff like that real quick, pee if they needed to. So everybody should be back in a second.
Awesome. Yeah, I had to shit, and I was like, I can't hold it. I was like, I don't know how
No,
long
you're
we're gonna
fine, bro.
go.
I was figuring we'd go for about another maybe half an hour or so, and then call it.
Hi, son.
Come say hi to your dad.
Hi.
Every time you say that, all I can think about is that dumb bison joke.
What bison joke?
I forget what the setup is, but the punchline is "Bye, son," like a bison.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I really wish I could remember it.
That's funny.
Damn, so he's grounded from all electronics.
Yep.
He must have done something pretty bad.
Yeah, so 2 F's and a D on his report card.
Oof.
Yep. So,
Oof.
and some misbehavior, some disrespectfulness.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's hiding because he's hiding from you. You can see he's trying to hide behind
Not
him.
mad.
Because
I'm
he's
just disappointed.
Oh, there it is.
the worst.
There it is.
No, but he knows that that this weekend, because like I said, I've got him tomorrow while school's out. But when he goes back to school Tuesday, he's going to be polite and respectful. And he also, since he doesn't seem to be taking this too seriously and keeps giggling and laughing about it, he's probably going to be writing some apology letters to his teachers.
Sweet. Sounds good.
So,
Hey, tell him that I said play stupid
He
games,
can hear
win
you.
stupid prizes. Oh,
he can hear you.
Lucas. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, buddy. I've taught you better than that.
Yep. We have to be respectful at school, pay attention, and be a part of it. But anyways, let's get this finished up. So that way we can kill this. And then Eric, if you like afterwards, we can you can call me and we can kind of finish talking about all that. So, or if you just want to stay in the fucking chat, we can just do it that way.
Either way.
Okay. So, some of the gyms and Darren and begin to start making repairs and all of that sort of thing. Who of you are going to go onto the island to
I
explore?
figured I would.
Me.
Perry, Vinkin.
Sure. No, I think
Vessel's
I would
going.
help with the repairs. Because I'd be mad that my Bentley is broke down.
Yeah, that's fair. So Zezel stays
go.
behind. Aruk, so the three of you, and
I take like Zimbabwe or something.
you take Zimbabwe, and Shatha pipes up and says, mind if I tag along? Looking at you, Aruk.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Let's go.
So yeah, so you guys make your way off of the ship, and begin to hike your way through the forest, towards this large structure. As you guys begin to move through this, Venkin, you immediately get the sense that that this forest is absolutely like very serene. As a druid, you can tell that you suspect that maybe there might even be another circle of druids that are maintaining this forest. It's so pristine and wonderful, and just kind of natural and seems untouched. As you make you guys' way through the forest, it takes a few hours, and nightfall is rapidly approaching. But as it gets dark and the sun sinks below the horizon, you guys find yourself approaching a clearing where the large, massive footprint of this, exactly as I described it, step pyramid sits. There are a couple of other smaller buildings around it, ancient stone buildings, but there's one massive stairway that leads all the way up to the top. There are torches lit about the grounds and lining the sides of the stairway. And you can even see this step pyramid isn't like most step pyramids in the sense that it's just like one entrance at the top and then just all these like, just these kind of basically like this is like a monument. This one is much more functional. Each layer of this step pyramid seems to be a whole entire other area. There's doors, doorways, and you see that there are monks moving about around this pyramid. They seem you see many bald heads in robes, and they're kind of just seem to be just going about their business. Some of them are walking alone. Some of them are walking in groups of 2 and 3. They seem to be conversing and doing things of that nature.
What race are
They seem to be wood elves.
they? Elves.
Some of them, but not all of them. There are others among them.
Fuck it. I guess we'll approach.
Okay.
Uh,
So,
real quick question: while we were unconscious or whatever, is that considered a long rest? Fuck. Okay.
Is there any chance I can tell how much time has passed since?
you imagine that it's been a few hours. You would
Oh.
imagine it's not been super long, maybe 2 or 3 hours, because it was past midday when you guys were in the middle of the ocean getting fucked up, and then it's now as you guys woke up, the sun was sinking closer towards the horizon.
Maybe Vin can
Um,
approach. He speaks Elvish.
Yeah,
okay,
I'll
so
go
you
for
guys, so just Venkin, are the rest of you hanging back, or are you guys
Okay.
gonna approach this with Venkin in the lead?
I'll be in tow. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys approach with Venkin in the lead. And as you approach, you see a small group of monks come out of one of the buildings and start heading up towards the stairway. Um, as they do, they kind of look over and do a double take, and then all of them put a friendly smile on their faces and they approach you. One calling out, "Well, hello there," in Elvish.
I respond back. Hello. I think we are a little lost. We might need some help.
Lost travelers, eh? Um, how did where did you come from?
That's a good question. What was the name of the town we just came from?
I've got my map.
Yeah, so I guess I'll take the map from him and I guess I'll point to the place that we came from.
Okay.
We were leaving the city and a portal opened up and we're not sure what happened, but we ended up here. So can you show us on this map where we're at?
Absolutely. So if you guys pull up your map here and you look at where Kathir is, and you see this little peninsula that's out just beneath, I think that's what that says, on the southern Lurewood. He points all the way around that kind of almost triangle-looking protrusion that's on the right side of the southern Lurewood, and he points at the top of it. And he points right. Let's see. So, where it says southern Lurewood or whatever, you guys are directly above the H, where there's that little patch of grass that's close to the thing there. He points right there.
Okay. I thank him and I kind of pass the map back to Perry and I tell him that our ship was damaged in the process and I think we're just kind of looking for somewhere to kind of rest for a little bit. If you guys have some supplies that we could buy from you or even the space to recuperate while we fix our ship.
Um, he kind of ponders for a moment and he says, well, I suppose I should, I suppose I should just take you to the master and you could speak to him. I'm sure he would have no problem helping, some lost travelers. Come with me. And, they kind of turn tail and, begin to make their way up the step pyramid. You guys following?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll pass on what's been said. Who's behind me again besides Perry?
Me.
Aruk,
In Zimbabwe.
Aruk, and Zimbabwe, and Shatha.
Okay.
So you
I'll
guys,
follow. Yeah.
yeah. So you guys follow, and they lead you up to the top of this pyramid. By the time you guys get to the top, you're like, son of a fucking bitch! How many stairs are on this thing? like, like, I like, you know, these dudes, they don't skip leg day. So, but you guys make it to the top. You know, some maybe even a little out of breath, and they seem like they, you know, like it's no big deal. But they lead you into this sanctuary like area. There's incense burning, and it seems almost like they've created a mini little like ecosystem in here. There's some trees and some different things and like potted plants, and like it's very beautiful. It's very, very, very beautiful in here. And sitting cross-legged in meditation is an older wood elf, bald, um, dressed in robes but with no sleeves, and he has these bracers on his arms. He also looks like he looks especially potent even for an older elf. He looks like definitely like this is the master. And the elf in Elvish, the one that led you up, says, "Excuse me, I'm sorry to intrude on your meditation, master, but we found some lost travelers. Well, more like they found us, and they're looking for some help." And this figure opens his eyes and looks up at all of you, and he kind of smiles and stands and says, "Well, hello there. What are your names?"
Um, hello. My name's Vinkin. This is Perry, Uruk, Chatha, Zimbabwe, and who's the other one?
I think
Another
it's
one?
I think that's it.
Oh, okay.
He says, "Well, it's very nice to meet you. I
And
am
what are,
He says, "I'm Grandmaster Karik."
yes, sir.
Kark.
all right.
um, yes, that's right, Brandon. His name is
Huh.
Karik.
He
Huh,
must have got away
indeed.
from me.
Heroes of
Huh,
Phandalin.
indeed. And he says, is this your entire company?"
No, but it's a very healthy representation of it. The rest of us,
He even chuckles out loud a little bit.
the rest of us are on the ship repairing it. We had quite the adventure. I was just telling your friend here that we're leaving the city here. I show him the map again because I keep forgetting the name.
Kathir.
And yeah, and we went through a portal at some point. Not sure how that happened, and we ended up on your guys' beach. It seems like so we have some ship repairs to take care of, and just looking to resupply and rest a little bit.
He says, "What business did you have in Kathir?"
We were looking for a friend of ours.
"Oh, did you find your friend?"
Yeah, it would appear so.
"Hmm. So you went to Kathir to find a friend, and then got into some trouble. Did I hear something about a magical portal?"
Trouble's a bit brash way of putting it, but yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, the portal just I don't know, just I swear it appeared out of nowhere. I looked over for a second and it just boom.
Deception.
13? I don't have a proficiency. I'm gonna say
He
13
says,
real quick. Yeah.
he kind of leans into you and he says, "Listen here, my young fur-bold friend. If you want my assistance, I need honesty from you. I am no friend to the Emperor of Kathir. You can trust me.
Can I roll
You
insight
can
on
trust
that?
him.
Yeah.
Yes, you can roll insight.
All right.
Just don't fuck with him.
That's a non-natural 20.
Yeah, you
No,
you
he's
get
still
the
fucking around and finding out. Trust
yeah
me.
he passes the vibe check
All
for
right,
sure.
all right. Okay, I'll just level with you then. We went to go rescue one of our friends out of a prison, and on the way out, it seems we called in a favor with Calypso, and one thing led to another, and we had a portal open up, and we got a few powerful magic beings, I guess you could say, on the ship that assisted with that. It's a little over my head, so I can't tell you the details.
When you say Calypso, he kind of knowing that you get the sense with that insight that you had before, you get the sense that he has respect for Calypso. And he says, what was your friend's name?
I want to say Lena. What's the
Althea.
It's
Althea.
Althea? That's it. Yeah, Althea.
He says, Althea. Interesting. Is she the one that opened the portal?
I think she had a lot to do with it. Yeah.
He says, yeah, that sounds like Althea. That's probably why she brought you here. She didn't tell you?
No, she kind of passed out, so pretty tired
Grave
from that
news.
prison, you know.
Grave news to hear that she was imprisoned. They must have found out. And he says, is the child with you?
She is with her mother, yes.
Good. Yes, bring them here. We will tend to them, heal them, and give you guys whatever provisions you need. And he says, I can send some help to help repair the ship.
I'm
And
sure our maintenance man would appreciate that.
so he kind of looks over at one of the which, by the way, he switched to common for this interaction.
Okay.
Just so that way you guys fully heard and understood everything he said, the whole conversation. And he looks at the other monks and speaks in Elvish, and you can tell that he just basically tells them to go fetch a few things, go get some people together, kind of just issuing orders. And then he says, all right, you can stay here for the night if you like, or our guides can escort you through the woods. They know it like the back of their hand if you'd like to go back to the ship tonight.
I think if you'll have us, we'll let's go get Molly and her mom, and we'll come back. I'm sure they'd love to stay and talk.
Absolutely.
We appreciate the help.
Yeah, he bows to you and
Right.
then kind of goes right back down into his lotus position and begins meditating again.
I turn around.
So you guys,
wait around for the help to show up when I say, "Shall we get going?"
yeah. So as the Grand Master sits down, he one of the other elves says, "Right this way," and he leads you guys back out. You guys go back down the stairs. At this point, your legs are literally jello. But there's a few others that gather around that are beginning to gather supplies and things. They've got a little hand cart that they can pull kind of behind them with some supplies and stuff in it, and some tools and things of that nature. And yeah, they begin to lead you through the forest. They've got a path that they've built that you guys didn't stumble onto, and they take you guys back to the ship. And I think that's where we're going to go ahead and call it for today. As you guys return to the ship, you know what? Actually, I'll say that you guys get back to the ship. You, the elves stay behind and begin to help Darren and some of the other gems repair the ship. While the rest of you, Captain Zizzle, you're gonna come along this time.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So the party, and company go make your way back to the temple, where you're shown to some quarters where that you guys can sleep, and for the first time sleep on like actual comfortable beds in a while. And just generally overall get some rest, and that's where we'll leave it. We'll pick up next session with you guys fully well rested and ready to go. So XP. While you guys didn't necessarily kill a whole bunch of shit, you guys were I really liked the way you guys manipulated the environment around you. You guys actually bypassed quite a few things by not going back up through the street level. So you guys bypassed quite a bit of bullshit. So because you still defeated it by navigation, I'm still going to go ahead and give you guys the XP. And so we're going to be 5,000 points above level 11.
Okay, so
Sweet.
that's
90?
90.
Yeah. Put you right at 90,000. So next session, after you guys wake up from your very, very, very much deserved and well-needed rest, you will all be at level 11.
Sweet.
Sweet.
If you're bringing in all the characters of fucking the heroes of Phandalin, I just can't wait to
Right.
fucking for Ebenezer's voice.
In due time, child. In due time.
I have the best gnome one.
So, Brandon, I gotta ask, did you put it together with Althea, or did it take Karik to put the heroes, to put that together?
Dude, I put it together with Medrex.
No, I got the Medrex reference, but the Althea part didn't click until you said Karik. And I was like,
Okay.
yeah.